We're making reusable fabric Easter eggs. Cut out an egg-shaped front, lining, and back piece. Put the back piece to the side and grab your front and lining pieces and place them right sides together. Next, we're going to find the center by folding the project in half. And then on that crease there, you want to make a center line. I use a marker because it's bold and easy to see, and then I use the clips to keep my project together. At your machine, line up that center line with the outside of your presser foot. We're going to be making a stitch line about 1/8 of an inch to the left of that center marking. You can see the stitch line here, but now we need a mark on the other side, so turn it around, line the center marking back up with the outside of the presser foot, and stitch a second line about 1/8 of an inch to the left of the center marking. At this point, you should have 2 stitch lines about 1/8 of an inch to the left and the right of that center marking. Here I remove the clips because we don't need them anymore, and we are going to actually cut the project in half on that center marking line. Cutting this in half will create the opening on the front of our egg. Now you'll want to turn each half right side out. I usually like to add a clip here, and then I'll take it over to my iron in order to press those seams nice and flat. Then we're going to take our project back to the machine. We're going to sew 1/8 of an inch seam allowance top stitch on both halves, right on top of the seam. I can tell my top and bottom because with my egg shape, the top is a little bit skinnier than the bottom. But now's where we're going to grab that back piece. And starting with the bottom half of the front, you'll want to place it right sides together on top of the back piece. You'll follow with the top half of the front, making sure the right sides are together and you overlap the seams at the opening. Back at your machine, you're going to sew all the way around the project with as small of a seam allowance as you can. What you're seeing here is me pointing at where my eyes are looking as I'm trying to round the curve of the egg. Once you get all the way around the egg back to your starting point, we're going to cut off that extra seam allowance that's on the outside to reduce that bulk that's going to be on the inside. I use my pinking shears for this. With my shears, I carefully cut all the way around the project, being careful not to cut any of my stitches. At this point, we're in the home stretch. We just need to turn our project right side out and give it a good press with our iron in order to make those creases nice and crisp. I use my turning tool to smooth everything out as much as possible. If you don't have the tool, you can definitely just use your fingers to get it turned out and looking nice. Now that I'm back from the iron, it's all pressed and looking nice and crisp. That was a fun project.